So Elon Musk had issued the poll saying, should I step down as head of Twitter? He says, I will abide by the results of this poll. He issued a plebiscite via Twitter, and he said verbatim, I will abide by the results of this poll. He's trying to be like the de Gaulle, like, you know, France's like famous post-World War II president, you know, leading by plebiscite. Here it says, yes is 57.5%, no is 42.5%, with over 17.5 million votes. So if I'm surprised he's actually kept this poll up, by the way, but he's saying here that he's going to abide by the results of this poll. He has given his word. Now, I'm surprised he even put that in there. There's a lot of questions as to why he did this. Did he do this on purpose because he's already trying to find somebody else and there would be some kind of like benefit to it? Or was it like a genuine thing where, you know, the Dave Chappelle thing where he goes on stage thinking people are going to love him and then everybody boos him? Is it that kind of situation? Like, I'm not really sure, right? I don't really know. And so he appears to not really be abiding by these results. And so check out what's actually going on. It appears that Elon Musk is now claiming that the poll was rigged, is what he's saying. So check this out. So Harris X, I think is it Harvard Harris? It's Harris X. They do polls. And so it says, hot off the press, a Twitter first press release. Majority of Americans want Elon Musk to stay on as Twitter CEO, finds Harris X overnight poll. 53% say Musk should stay on CEO of Twitter, and statistically relevant finding of 1028 general population residents. So it gives this whole thing. It says close but slight majority would like Elon Musk to remain on as head of Twitter. And so you can see, basically, it says, important note, picture in our poll is even better for Elon Musk among those who say they use Twitter. 61% say stay on, 39% say step down. Again, this is a national representative and scientific poll. Updated data will be up soon. And so a lot of people are very skeptical of polling, and there's obviously a lot of skepticism to be had in terms of like all the errors in polling. I actually just took a public opinion class that like incessantly studied public opinion and how polling works. And so there's always problems with polling, but you should put a lot of stock into actual scientific polls. And this is an example of an actual scientific poll. It actually is, right? And so this poll comes away with the conclusion that 53% of slight majority say that they should stay on. Now, Elon Musk responds to this saying, interesting, suggests that maybe we might still have an itsy-bitsy bot problem on Twitter. So this is logically fallacious. Now, to be fair to him, he's at least like, he's trying to say, oh, maybe we still have an itsy-bitsy bot problem. So he's not saying it outright, but he's trying to say maybe we have a bot problem. The issue with this claim of it being a bot problem is you issued this poll that's non-scientific. It's a non-scientific poll. Non-scientific polls are released everywhere all the time on all platforms, whether it be an MSNBC host releasing them or me releasing them on my YouTube community tab. When I release a poll on the YouTube community tab saying, will you vote for Joe Biden in 2024 or whatever, that's not going to be the same results as an actual scientific poll of the general population, right? That's not how it's going to work. That's the downside. That's the problem with non-scientific polls. Scientific polls still already have their problems. Imagine how many issues there are in unscientific polls, which is what this is. So the problem here in this one isn't the bots, right? The bots, which is just this bullshit thing that you just say whenever you want to invalidate something that didn't work out for you. It's not because of the bots. It's because your poll is not scientific. So again, it's logically fallacious. However, you set up the goalpost. You said, should I step down as head of Twitter? I will abide by the results of this poll. That is your goalpost, okay? The football was kicked. It went through, and now you're saying, whoa, we need to shift it over here. Now we need to change it to something else. Because he said he will abide by the results of this poll. And what's hilarious about this is, it's just, he's trying to rule by plebiscite, ostensibly anyway, on Twitter. And this just goes to show how much of a failure like these polls on Twitter are, because they're not even a representative of Twitter users. So yes, for example, right, like going by this Harvard Harris poll is way fucking superior to this garbage ass dog water fucking poll, dude. Straight dog water, trash ass poll, unscientific. Okay, not actually scientific in any way, not representative, not weighted, not matching for demographics. And so, the issues you can get with, polls are like coverage errors, measurement errors, etc. And so if you guys want to know more about public polling, you can look up a guy named Zoller, Zaller. He has like a science behind it and like media control. And I'm going to get into that in another video that I'm going to actually record. But here it says, very interesting when you compare the number of votes versus the number of likes on the tweets. Did bots brigade the Elon poll yesterday? And it's 836K likes on the Trump one versus 312 for the stepping down as head of Twitter one. The reinstate former Trump one had more like activity in terms of it being more polarized. You can see the results are literally more polarized, right? Definitionally de jure. And it's something that it produces this extreme volatility and extreme feeling and partisanship, etc. So it's going to get more favorites. Also, there seemed to be more energy at that time because that was like right when all the crazy stuff was going on, whereas this one is less. So it's not all that surprising. The difference in likes, again, like you're not. This is another kind of maybe like a post hoc or propter hoc situation, but I'm not 100% sure if that would fit precisely in this logical fallacy or not. But he says interesting. So again, a lot of this is like a mix, I would say, of like intellectual laziness plus plausible deniability. Jordan Peterson is really good at this. Like he will refuse to take any actual concrete stances on anything. So you can't even get him on the definition of truth or God or Jordan or Peterson or Dorr. You just don't know what he's talking about. You just make shit up as it goes on, because when you do that, as a grifter who lies, you can always make it so that you're impossible to paint into a corner. It's a strategy used by grifters like Elon Musk. And so it's also intellectual laziness too. And I just thought he got bodied for some dumb financial take that he had. This guy's crazy, Kim.com. He's like a really weirdo, like complete like lunatic, basically, just like a Putin shill, pretty much. He says, hey, Elon Musk, it's unwise to run a poll like this when you are now deep state enemy number one. They have the biggest bot army on Twitter. They have 100,000 quote analysts with 30 to 40 accounts all voting against you. Let's clean up and then run this poll again. The majority has faith in you. Dude, like, didn't the bots go away? Didn't Elon Musk come in to drop the bots? Like, here's the thing too, it's like the bots are now just going to be this never ending just boogeyman. Bots. Eventually we have to be able to put this away and be like, okay, the bots just like, you can't use that excuse anymore. Like, it's done, so it's finished. It's done. You know what I'm saying? But this is December 11th. The bots are in for a surprise tomorrow. This is December 19th. So what the fuck? What was the surprise? Did you give them a Happy Meal from McDonald's? I'm hoping that Elon did this poll as a honeypot to catch all the deep state bots. The data set for this poll will contain most of them, some good data mining, and he could kill them all in one go. He says, interesting. Again, like, interesting. And then he's saying, blue subscribers should be the only ones that can vote in policy-related polls. We actually have skin in the game. Good point. Twitter will make that change. So, again, you have more like, Twitter blue supremacy, where now people who are just free users are not going to be represented the same way that paid ones are. So that's obviously not going to go well with people. But he's turning a bunch of people away from him with all of this stuff. He's lost a lot of supporters. He's lost a ton of liberals because I actually don't have it pulled up, but if you just go through like his replies, it's all just a bunch of stuff going like saying conservative stuff, and then just doing stuff that's like anti-liberal. So going against Adam Schiff, and yeah, he's tweeting about like illegal immigrants now is what he's doing, going after Elizabeth Warren, which, to be fair, Elizabeth Warren was going after him, so I mean that's understandable, obviously. But all of a sudden he's talking about like undocumented immigrants, which is kind of coming out of nowhere, I would say, in terms of where this comes to. Why do so few report about millions of people crossing the border? So he's losing a lot of people because he's making these erratic decisions, and he's honestly a big cringe lord who's just like, it's sad how much of a clout chaser this guy is. I mean, he's really insecure, and he's obviously compensating for, some, I'm assuming, like social validation in his life in previous times. But anyways, it appears that he's not actually going to abide by the results of this poll. And so I think if you needed anything to really like destroy his credibility even more, even after he was, banning all those journalists, now this is even more. He literally says, I will abide by the results of this poll. He didn't say I'll abide by the results of this poll pending potential bot numbers. Even like the bot numbers, dude, like you got smashed, like 57.5 to 42.5. Like that's 15%, dude. Like that's not even really close. You're not even within 5 points, and even that's really not that close depending upon how you're looking at it, right? But 15 points, like that's a big difference, bro. So it's like, how many bots were there in this poll that did that? And then it's like you're using a boogeyman of bots, and it's just, come on, like, dude, this is so embarrassing. And now you want to switch to the scientific poll. Like, dude, you've been using that to do with Donald Trump, and then you're using with all the other stuff, and then now you say you'll abide by the results of this poll, and guess what? You didn't. So It appears Elon Musk, I don't know, he's just kind of like tweeting it away. It doesn't look like anyone's even holding him accountable for saying this, which is kind of the point that we're getting to now as society, where the elites of society, rich, wealthy, powerful politicians, people with influence, anybody in the media, etc., there's like, you can just say shit and then there's no backfire for being actually wrong. That's like one of the big dangers. That's actually the biggest danger in terms of like citizen competence today, in terms of democracy actually being functional.